I chose to do my paper over the effects of being overweight as a first responder and how it affects our care. I bring up the subject due to the fact I read an interesting article of saying how there are more obese first responders or overweight, for a better example. And this was done by a study through the Boston Medical Center. Through a study that they did was 370 recruits through a fire department and ambulance, which they found out that 0.8 were underweight, 22.4 were normal weight, 43.8 were overweight, and 33% were obese, which that leaves about 75% were overweight or obese on the BMI scale, which means that about 1/4 is actually fit for the medical services and fire department, which that leaves us in a tricky situation due to the fact that we are medical providers. It makes it very hard to be able to talk to a person about their health if they see that we are not keeping ourselves healthy as well. That is a big implication right there, and it can kind of cause hypocrisy in a way. This can also cause cardiovascular disease, obviously, and diabetes. Our system deals with many revolving problems that can cause overweight and obesity, mostly due to the fact that our inconsistent schedules or our overabundant scheduled part where we're working so much or working overtime. Done by a study through EMS Success by Elizabeth Smith, she states that if you do about a 40-hour shift, you're about 3 times as likely to develop type 2 diabetes. And we only increase those rates of us dying of a cardiovascular disease, stating that about 11% of on-duty EMS officials die due to cardiac disease. And that is a major problem. It makes it very hard for us to be able to treat and keep us inside the field. If we're not healthy, how are we expected to be able to treat others? This makes it very interesting subject due to the fact that there is a balance. We are in a struggling field where we cannot be picky with the people going into it, but there are cities actually putting in physical requirements to be able to get onto the job. Such would be Oklahoma City Fire Department. You have to do a certain physical test to be able to get onto the fire department. So we can talk about a way to combat these problems, which would be a healthier diet for all EMS professionals. Due to the fact that we have such a on and off schedule, or that we are always on the tone, which means we just have to go then, it means that we are more likely to be living on an unhealthy diet, which can cause more likeliness to be overweight. Due to the fact that we live in such a high stress environment, we are also more likely to develop being overstressed, which can cause many problems for us to start overeating in that way. There are many factors that can cause EMS to become overweight and unhealthy, which that can put us out of a job and can put our safety and others' safety at risk. By not being able to take care of ourselves, it can put our danger whenever we run onto a scene. We are more likely to get hurt due to the fact that we are not in good physical shape. Because how are we expected to be able to perform properly without warming up or anything like that? Whenever the tone drops, we have to get out there and just do everything we need to do, lift a heavy patient onto an ambulance, and possibly could pull a muscle more likely. These are big major factors inside of all of EMS, and it's important to maintain our health. And with being overweight, there becomes this very big stigma, and it can lead to a decline in mental health and to lead into depression. It's best for us to take very good care of our bodies and to do our best for each other. We should watch out for each other,